Why and how should I contribute to any open source project as software engineer? This kind of question I received a lot. It is so complex to enhance your career exploring open source. In this video, I explain why and how. Welcome you, my name is Otavio Santana, and I'm super glad to say that if you want to learn more about software engineer, software architecture, and so on, you come to the right place, so subscribe. Why and how should I contribute to open source products and projects? I do receive this question for a long time. It looks complex to be part of any kind of open source project. But it is not. Indeed, what you do need is time, discipline to do a single step every single day. I can say that because I'm contributing to the most popular open source project in the world. That includes the Java itself and several Java specifications and even database. In this video, I will give the step-by-step for you, starting with why. Why should I contribute to open source? This question I can reply with simple to enhance yourself and enhance your career and move it forward. Because with open source, you're gonna learn how to you communicate better, to increase your network, and naturally how to write a better code with the best. So open source, there is no doubt, we do have a huge amount of high qualified people doing the best product in the world. So you're gonna learn how to handle the database with the database creator. You're gonna learn how to handle with Java with the Java creator. And if you check any open source projects, you can see a lot of people using and just a few contributing directly to the project. Imagine your CV or your LinkedIn with the badge of the creator of that technology. You can see a lot of people using, having certified, but just a few people as core committer of any kind of open source project. Beyond that, remember, software engineering goes beyond code. It's about communications, it's about writing a good documentation, good review, is communicating with people, networking, and so on. Open source can help you with that as well. Remember, with open source, you're gonna enhance your career as complete because you're gonna learn hard skill, writing code, software design, software architecture, plus soft skill, communication, documentation, leadership, and so on. After explaining the reason to join open source project, I'll give you step by step how to join a open source project or product, okay? First, choose a project that you want to learn or because you are working currently or is because you want to become an expert. Have a reason to learn this kind of thing, especially because at the beginning you might doing that on your free time. That means you have to work and then at night, at evening or early morning, you need to work on this open source project. So having a reason to do that make your life easier. So currently I work with Spring, so it might be a good idea to contributing with Spring. Okay? After choosing carefully the project that you're gonna participate, join the mail list or the Slack channel or the communication official and introduce yourself. Hey, my name is Otavio Santana. I'm super glad to join people to these open source projects and etc. etc. After that, start doing what everybody else does not want to do. For example, start reading the documentation. Usually people learn the language by some videos, by some tutorial, but however, they will read the official documentation. And the official communication is the directly communication between you, who gonna use this technology, and the people who build that technology. So the official documentation is amazing. And talking in your career, you're gonna be one step forward than the majority of software developer reading the official documentation. With reading the documentation, you can see some points that is not clear enough, so you can request to clarify, you can open a pull request, and so on. So it is an amazing point to start contributing with documentation. You can also read emails, read documentations, read the pull requests, and then starting giving some suggestions, how to enhance, raise some questions about those pull requests, and so on. So reading documentation and understand the context. The next step is doing what everybody else does not want to do. For example, writing tests. It's hard to refuse any test contribution in any kind of open source project. It's hard to refuse any kind of contribution to enhance the documentation. Or also update the API. For example, we in Java in general have project that has over 25 years old, right? So we do have long projects live in Java. So maybe this piece of code were made using Java 5. Right now we are using Java 17 as minimum requirement in the majority of those projects. So you can enhance this code using, for example, a string API, new date and time API, and so on. So you can, again, enhance documentation, enhance the API, update the API, make it clear, and the test. After that, you can start suggesting new things. The biggest mistake that I saw in several open source projects is because people want to start contributing, doing suggestions. Remember, the easiest thing to do in any open source project is suggesting new capabilities, especially because it is easy to create, right? The hard part of any software project that includes open source is to maintain that capability, to fix bugs, and so on. So give a new capability suggestion and disappear is one thing that's happened more often, okay? So if you start in suggestion, a new capability, people might not trust in you to accept that suggestion because, as I said, you might disappear after you do the contribution. So instead, read documentation, do whatever everybody else don't want to do, and then starting contributing with this new capability. That is all for the video today. The reason to contribute to open source, how to contribute to open source, why, to enhance your career, to enhance your soft skill and hard skill, to learn how to communicate, write documentation, be a better leader, to write a better code, and so on. That's the reason. Step by step, choose carefully the project that you want to contribute, especially because the time, have discipline to contribute to this project. Then introduce yourself, starting reading documentation. It is a big advantage for you in your career. It is directly communication between you who will use and people who are building this technology. Enhance and raise some question about the documentation. Do what everybody else don't want to do, like tests, documentation, enhance the API, and finally start suggesting new thing. Don't start suggesting new thing because it is a mistake. So that's all for the video today. Please let me know your thoughts. So are you contributing to open source projects right now? Do you want to contribute to open source? And that is it for today.